Good day, everyone. Good day, ma'am. We are Group 1, and me and my group mates are going to discuss about the values of resources. So, before we talk about the values of resources, let me first discuss what is a natural resource. So, it is defined as natural resources occur naturally within the environment. Any materials from the earth that are used to support life and meet people's need is a natural resource. Any material which is part of the earth and satisfy human need and add value is called a resource. For example, oil, coal, natural gas, we have here metals, uh, sand, rocks, minerals, even animals and plants. Other natural resources are air, soil, sunlight, and water. Now let's move on to let's talk about the values of resources. First, we have economic value. So it is the production of things from natural resources. Economic value is the value that a person places on an economic good based on the benefit that they derive from that good. Next is we have legal value. Legal value are essential part of life, thus it became our responsibility to protect them from pollution. For example, we have here clean air, fresh water, healthy animals, and us, human beings. Lastly, we have the aesthetic value. So we enjoy the beauty of the mountains, beauty of villages, roads, ponds, and there's agricultural fields, waterfalls, sea, and landscapes. So these are resources which have the aesthetic value. That would be the end of my part. Next is Mr. Aque. He will discuss about the natural resource allocation, usual conflicts, issues, and problems. Thank you for listening.
So these are the allocation, usual conflict, issues, problem of the natural resources. We all know that the world is facing incredibly serious natural resources and environmental challenges. Climate change, freshwater depletion, ocean overfishing, deforestation, air and water pollution, and struggle to feed a planet of billions of people. Plants like trees, plants feed us and give us the oxygen we breathe, and if they run out, humans and animals would starve and suffocate. Natural resources conflict. Natural resources conflicts are disagreement and disputes over access to and control and use of natural resources. These conflicts often emerge because people have different uses for resources such as forests, water, pastures, and land, or want to manage them in different ways. Disagreements also arise when these interests and needs are incompatible or when the priorities of same user groups are not considered in policies, programs, and projects.
Hello everyone, my name is Wilbog Mendova, a BSc History student. Our group was assigned on values of resources and I was tasked to discuss about proper natural resources allocation or management. There are two types of natural resources, renewable and non-renewable resources. When we say renewable natural resources, those are resources that can be replenished at about the same rate at which they are used. Once these natural resources are consumed by humans, they can still regenerate themselves back to their natural amount or number. While non-renewable natural resources are those natural resources that can be depleted more quickly than they can regenerate. Once used completely, they are gone forever because they are in a limited stock. We have here examples of renewable resources like solar energy, air, wind, water, tides, flowing, soil and plants, while non-renewable are fossil fuels, oil, coal, natural gas, metallic minerals like iron, copper, aluminum, and non-metallic minerals like salt and phosphates. Natural resource allocation. It is the assignment of available resources to various uses or the division of goods for the use of production within the economy. Natural resource utilization is regulated through the use of taxes and permits. The vast majority of natural resources are exhaustible, which means they are available in a limited quantity and can be used up if they are not managed correctly. The study of natural resources aims to prevent its depletion. All natural resources should be used wisely in order to conserve its availability. Conserve means to not use up, spoil, or waste things. Under some definitions, only those natural resources that can renew themselves and whose exploitation relies on their regenerative capacities properly necessitate management. For example, oil is not considered subject of natural resource management, whereas forests are. The use of non-renewable resources is subject to regulation rather than management. In other words, renewable natural resources needs management while non-renewable natural resources needs regulation.
Resource Policy Republic Act 9003 Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000. This law ensures the proper segregation, collection, storage, treatment, and disposal of solid waste through the formulation and adaptation of best eco-waste products. The second law is the Republic Act 9275 Philippine Clean Water Act of 2004. This law aims to protect the country's water bodies from pollution from land-based sources like industries and commercial establishments, agriculture, and community or household activities. The third law is Republic Act 8749, Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999. This law aims to achieve and maintain clean air that meets the National Air Quality Guidelines values for criteria pollutants throughout the Philippines while minimizing the possible associated impacts to the economy. The fourth is Republic Act 6969 Toxic Substances, Hazardous, and Nuclear Waste Control Act of 1990. This law aims to regulate, restrict, or prohibit the importation, manufacture, processing, sale, distribution, use, and disposal of chemical substances and make sure they present unreasonable risks to human health. Last is the Presidential Decree 1586 Environmental Impact Statement or AIES Statement of 1978. The Environment Impact Assessment was formally established in 1978 with enactment of Presidential Decree 1978 number 1586 to facilitate the attainment and maintenance of rational and orderly balance between socioeconomic development and environmental protection.
Impact of future energy policy on water resources in Kazakhstan. Introduction. Kazakhstan has a vast reserves of oil, gas, coal, and uranium, which most of it is used for electricity. Water is most significantly required in energy sector. Water withdrawal most come from extraction of coal, uranium, oil, and gas, crude oil refining, and thermal electricity generation. But Kazakhstan is one of most water-scarce country on the Eurasian continent, so they make an act for future energy policy on water. Natural resources, conflict, issues, and problems. Kazakhstan is having a problem on water resources. Water is most significantly required in energy sector. The availability of water and energy resources is not balanced. The reliance on transboundary inflows from neighboring countries has been a source of geopolitical tension in the past, and all of these issues could be potentially exacerbated given the vulnerability of the region
to the effects of climate change. Water sector and energy sector are treated separately. Proper natural resources allocation or management. The western part of Ural-Caspian Basin, the oil and gas province of the country depends significantly on groundwater and water desalination, contributing around 30 to 35% of the total water supply as a source of drinking water and irrigation, with the remaining 65 to 70% from surface water. Kazakhstan oil, gas, coal, and uranium is utilized to produce 90% of its electricity. Most of the withdrawal of water comes from extraction and refining. Policy basis may be improvement of current policy. Kazakhstan sharing renewable and alternative sources of energy. Have a target on increasing the share of renewable and alternative sources of energy. Rely on transboundary inflows formed outside of its boundaries and 2050 low carbon energy strategy. Implication and energy sector is expanding, and because of that, energy sector is requiring more water sources for oil, gas, coal, and uranium. The energy and water sector must not treated separately because the source is not balanced. Prioritizing the problem on water first so that it becomes sustainable for the people and the energy sector. Thank you.